Welcome to our very first vlog podcast. This is the GoonerLand podcast. Our first attempt, two lifelong Gooners venturing into the virtual world to give ourselves an opportunity to talk about the games as they go for this 2021 season. My name is Moyo, and over there is Vic. So we'll start by just talking a little bit what kind of expectations for the season. Over to you, Vic.
All right. Yeah. So it was an interesting one. Obviously, I don't know morning, afternoon, evening, whichever part of the world you are. And thanks for giving us a lesson, maybe a view and whatnot. But just going into the season, my feelings were okay. We need signings, right? Um, we got William, Gabriel, and then obviously the return of Ceballos. I was in two minds about the William deal, to be honest, just because yes, I do see what he gives us as far as the quality and experience, especially coming from that championship caliber Chelsea squad. Not that I mind the Chavs, they can hang and whatnot, but my concern was really for the younger players, right? So I was more in line with, okay, Martinelli was clearly our breakout young player of the season last year, along with Saka. But then with Pepe, Saka, and now Willian, and then you throw in Rhys Nelson, are you really looking at, okay, is Willian more a player that's just gonna be there just to kind of help us or lead us into where we're headed with these young players, right? Because we have to be realistic. It kind of does, you know, hamper the progress, to be honest. Because Rhys Nelson is not going to see a lot of game time because it's going to be clearly Willian and Pepe, unless Arteta's thoughts are push Willian more central. But then if it does, then where's Saka going to play? Is he going to still carry on in the wing back? Going into the season, yes, my feelings are excited. First game, I don't care whether it was Fulham, give us Stoke City, give us the Chavs. I could care less. I know that we did the business, clean shit, and impressive performance. William on his debut.
Yep, all good points, and hopefully as we go, we'll get the banter going because there's some things you said which I know yeah, not fully
Get some people going.
who you are, but yeah, first looking at the upcoming season, excitement. But you know me, I'm always blindly excited when this thing starts. So uh, even I know we're recording post the Fulham match, but even walking in, I'm absolutely with you on the signings. And still expecting a couple more. Uh, and very excited, very excited. The Willian pickup, I think, is massive, and I'm surprised because you're a big Willian fan. You're always you're always on William, so that's interesting. But I do think at this while we're recording this on this day, I think Rhys Nelson is probably going out on loan. If I had to bet, I think he would be heading out on loan. Him and even potentially Willock would also be heading out pretty soon. But yeah, but it's excitement. I think we've shown we can play tactically. We can play, so we have the talent to hang in there. You know, are we the best team? I don't know, but we had these aren't fluke results through the summer, right? Summer here in the U.S. These aren't kind of lucky results. These are actual games we've played. We've beaten these teams. So going the outlook, I mean, I know that's for a prediction, but I would say on this day, I would say top four is very much within reach. I'm pretty confident that that's where it is. So anyway, we won't dig in too much else into that. We'll talk now. What we would like to do on this going forward is our format will be pretty simple. We're trying to post games. We'll kind of talk a little bit about the game overall. do some player ratings, and then we'll talk about kind of intermediate. Where do we go from here? Kind of what's next. So I'll flip it back to you, Vic. Arsenal at Fulham, game one. Thoughts on the game?
Obviously, immediate response is the boys came out blazing and super impressive, right? I loved how Willian played with so much freedom. You wouldn't even have thought for a second that he joined us barely 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So that was good. Just seeing the link up play between him, Bellerin coming down that right flank, and the link up with Xhaka as well was pretty impressive. I liked watching him drop back, not necessarily drop back, but he was coming more inwards to link up with Xhaka when he was not, kind of carrying through the center of midfield. So that was super impressive. Overall, I think I would easily give us a 9, just because I feel like we could have put Fulham to bed much earlier. But yeah, all around impressive. And Lacazette, oh my goodness. I always feel like he's very underrated and what he brings to the team. I feel like it gives Aubameyang a lot of freedom as how he can play on the flanks, right? And come in, and he has that ability where he can hit a curler from any from open play, right? So it was super impressive just seeing how much Lacazette allowed Aubameyang to kind of just go on that wing and come in without too much, And then obviously super impressed with Leno coming back. He hasn't played a game in a while, and all credit to Emmy, but Leno's number one. And on the Willian thing, Willian is my boy. The only concern I have is, I'm pro, young academy players. I know Martinelli didn't come from our academy, but it looked like we had something there. So my only concern is, what does it do for his kind of progress, right? What does it do for Reece Nelson, who we brought back from where was it, Hoffenheim?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, but coming back from loan, because in all this, we're not. If Ozil is back in the fold, does it mean Willock is done with Ceballos in and potentially Partey? So there's a lot that's going to happen that will have obviously a direct hindrance on the progress of some of these young players. That's my only concern. But overall, super duper for the team, and given that first game.
Yeah, no, I mean, 100% agree with you. I think you ventured into our topic 3, which is where do we go from here? But we're learning. Fantastic. I mean, fantastic performance in patches. I think we're kind of still getting used to how we play as a team, and I think a lot of us are still thinking, well, this is not really how Arteta wants to play. There's some interesting aspects of it. So that, that 3-4-3 is actually doesn't really look like a pure 3-4-3 anymore. I think it's 3-4-3 on paper. I think, the TV channel shows you it's 3-4-3 and you kind of believe that. But it seems Maitland-Niles was not really a wing back during that whole game. As soon as we were kind of in possession, he just tucked in. And so there were 3 midfielders. So really, it's kind of, who goes forward versus, on the left flank, is it Tierney going all the way? And some of the interesting twists and turns is the way Tierney goes forward. I've seen a couple of games where he's come to cut all the way in, but really where he goes forward is kind of flank cross, allowing Aubameyang to come in. But on the other side, Bellerin is not going flank, is coming in. So interesting that, it's an interesting way Bellerin is on the right side, plays a little bit closer to the box when going down, and the Tierney is a little bit further away from the box on the left flank. So those are interesting kind of tweaks. Again, midfield 3. Overall, like the game, I'll give them a 9 also. I think 9 is a good solid start. It's a morale boosting. I like, like I said, work rate, very different from him what Nketiah gives us, but he does give him balance. He's always scrappy, always kind of up for a fight. So he gives, the opposition defender something to think about. So overall, fantastic. Of course, he can't do all of this I'm mentioning, Gabriel. Just fit right in. No frills, solid, early kind of blip at the beginning, but overall fantastic performance. And I just kind of always, probably like a lot of people, waiting to see, does Arteta have a pure 4-3-3 he wants to play, or a 4-2-3-1, 4 at the back? But I don't even know if that's important anymore, because it seems, again, 3-4-3 is not really 3-4-3 if Maitland-Niles is tucking in. It's actually 3 midfielders, and then the attack is overloaded with the fullbacks. So, but yeah, I think we agree. So let's just jump into player ratings. Yeah, you want me to go first, or you want to go?
No, we can flip it. You can go first now.
Okay, all right. So let me start. So Leno, I'll start. I'll give him an 8. He was solid. He played a little bit for Germany, so it's not like he just came off the bench or the wilderness. So yeah, I think who he is. He is our number one, and Martinez. Good luck at Aston Villa, all the best. But Martinez, Leno is our number one. No frills. Strong 8, solid 8 performance. No frills. I don't know how you want to do it. You want us to do it? Let's do it like that. So now you're rating for Leno.
Yeah, I would say I really thought he had little moments where he looked like a player returning from an injury. But yeah, he was over solid, clean sheet. But it's not like the Fulham front line really gave him a lot to work with, to be honest. Yeah, but Mitrovic came on in the second half, and he really didn't end that much. So I want to say I'm taking away from Leno because I want to give more to the defenders. So I'm going 6, Leno.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, the formation was 3-4-3. Doesn't really matter per se, but so let's talk the 3 defenders in the middle, starting with Rob Holding.
I go?
Yeah, go.
Yeah. Holding, so I'll just do both. Okay, I'll do one. Holding, I want to say 8. He was solid, right? Just because Gabi looked shaky in the first few minutes. And I feel like Holding was that calming presence around him, right? So, and you get what you get with Rob Holding. It's that no-nonsense, in your face, there to do the job, right? Proper English defender. So I feel like he actually helped ease Gabi into the game. So I say 9. Rob Holding gets a 9, yeah. And that little footballing, skill, his proper skill he showed at the end there, making him look like the Rob Holdinho that we know, So
that ball resulted in the corner which Gabriel scored from.
Yeah.
I mean, we laugh about it. That was very vital. But
did you see Laka's reaction? Laka was like, "Oh my goodness, what was that?" That was super impressive. Yeah.
So I'll give Rob Holding a 7, maybe 7.5. I'll give him a 7. I don't know if it was a 9 performance. I think it was solid and it was structured, but it was a 7. I think took one side of the back 3, and that was good. So other side of the back 3, Tierney.
Tierney is 8, bro. I don't even think there's anything. So for me, Tierney is, what you will get from him, right? Like, he's one of those players I feel like gives you advantage in his defending, advantage in his overlapping, advantage in his crosses, right? So the only 2 you can take away from him is that maybe if he doesn't finish a game, right? But Tierney was a solid 8.
Yeah. And I'll give that. Tierney, you don't even look that side. You don't even, he's a better version of Monreal, because you never looked at that side. Okay, we're good to go on that side. And that's what it is. So I'll give him an 8 too. And I feel confident that if you had to pick an average rating for him for the rest of the season, I would say 8 all the time. That's just who he is. Okay, so
even the games he hasn't played, I'll do that. I'm willing to bank on that.
Plug that 8. Okay, all right. Debutant Gabriel.
I give Gabby a 6, a 7 actually, just because he got the goal. But he struggled in the first half, and obviously was expected, right? Like, he hasn't played with that combination at the back. And I honestly thought going into the game, Willow was going to start just because he's had more time with the team.
Yeah.
So that Gabriel start was quite interesting. But yeah, I'd say 7. That goal obviously for us is nothing but just pure class and expectation for us going into the season, right? Because his confidence is super, stock right now. So
yeah, I think you're being harsh because I would give him a 9. I think it was. I mean, about that one mistake at the beginning,
he was shaky.
I mean, he was. If you look at some of the solid tackles, I mean, Kamara was bouncing off of him, and he was just in there. I mean, there's a couple of times where the ball was there. He wasn't beaten for pace. He was there all the time. I mean, and plus the goal, like you said, is cherry on top. But just overall, I mean, he didn't tire. He didn't. I mean, there was nothing to suggest, we're under the cosh. And so to me, I think, and listen, that's an interesting statistic of him having 114 passes or at least attempting 114. That's an absurdly high number from a center back.
Yeah, but we're playing. Remember, we're playing out of the back. We're playing out of the back.
That, but this is your first.
So he has to pass at some point.
This is your first game, so I don't know. I'll sit on the 9 with him because I think it was impressive. Like it, very worthy of that number 6 shirt.
Fair.
Fair. Yeah. The sort of kind of wing backs, we'll talk about them. So Bellerin.
Hector, I didn't see a lot wrong with his performance Saturday. To be honest, for me, there's nothing to take away from him. I feel like he linked up really well with Willian on that right flank. So 8.
Okay.
I have nothing. Usually, I take away a lot from Bellerin.
Bellerin. Yeah, I think he's a 7 for me. Again, nothing overly impressive, but solid. So I'll give him a 7. Not too much to complain about. Good game, solid game. Still feel like he's coming back, which is a good thing. But it's a 7 for him. Maitland-Niles, England man.
9.
Come on.
Nothing to take away. Like, honestly speaking, you said something that was quite interesting earlier. I honestly didn't think he was playing left wing back. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you look at the goal Oba scored and where Maitland-Niles was,
yep.
And that little, I don't know if it's a dummy, and somebody actually put together a little nice comparative clip from the goal he scored. Oba scored similar goal he scored against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Like that little decoy that Tierney and
Maitland-Niles
kind of throw in there. For me, they shouldn't both be there. Is Tierney playing left back? Is Maitland-Niles playing left wing back?
Clearly
There's
not.
no way both of them are there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then just looking at everything else that happened, like we forget that every time Granit Xhaka, because Granit Xhaka is always, I think, the person that links up that play out.
Can you wait until we get to him before you?
Okay. But no, I just wanted to say, Maitland-Niles allows GX to actually drop that deep and link the midfield and the back line. So for me, Niles 9. What did I give him? 10?
No. So yeah, I mean, I'll give you, I'll give him an 8. I think he was really, really good. I mean, again, but solid. I don't think he did anything spectacular. His tactical awareness is really, really good. I mean, it is elite level. He actually does not have I don't think he has the natural talent. He has the speed. He has the physical. And so he doesn't have the ball control. But my goodness, that I didn't know that he had this. I didn't know. And it was another. So yeah, you're right though. That 101 video which they showed, which is the Liverpool goal and the Fulham goal. When we played Chelsea FA Cup final, when Pepe's goal was disallowed, the reason it was disallowed was Maitland-Niles was offside. So he basically, he ran way ahead of that play because essentially someone like Aubameyang's supposed to pull that and hit it on goal, but he finds Pepe open, gives it to Pepe, but doesn't realize Maitland-Niles is going too far down offside. But that's the way I'm thinking. I mean, yeah, he's something tactically something. Oof, he's something else. So I'll give him an 8, solid 8. But just because whenever he got in certain positions, he dragged one of the crosses, went a little bit further, kind of didn't hit the left foot. Doesn't impress me. So it's a very But anyway, but that's me nitpicking. I give him an 8. All right, midfield 2. You can give Xhaka your 10, and then we'll move on. Go ahead.
No. Xhaka gets an 8. I think there was nothing alarming, and there was one thing that we're not talking about, right? Can we talk about the complete change or shift in Xhaka's game as far as his discipline, right? Like going from the Wenger years where he was really solid, but the one thing he was always thankful
the red card in him.
The poor display. Like, you actually can't go all game and not worry about Xhaka with his reckless tackles, right? Like, he plays with so much assurance and so much maturity. I feel like it calms everything down. And this is where now I speak of that integral part he plays as far as linking or playing out the back. Like, you should see everything GX does. And that's probably why I gave Hector that 8, if I did give him an 8. Because every time GX drops deep, it was either Maitland-Niles coming in or Bellerin coming in, then gets that ball and linked with Willian. And that in that one play leading to the Oba goal, it was actually Lacazette that got the ball. And obviously there was that little ricochet, whatever it was. Then ball ended up with Willian and just threw that ball in. But when you actually look at the whole play, and all our plays, whenever we play at the back, Xhaka, in the absence of David Luiz, is always a very important part of that. So GX, I'm saying 8, and I would even go 9 just because the man is literally just, captain.
Oh, come on, they don't have that. So yeah, GX, I'll give him a 7. I think it's still a bit. To me, it's always a bit clunky. It doesn't really look like. I don't know how it looks very much the way Bellerin is running right now. It's like how I'm recovering from an injury. Xhaka always looks like he's recovering from an injury for me. It's kind of like he haven't fully recovered. There's some kind of, what did Pep Guardiola like? His gait. Something about his gait, it's just a bit out there. But anyway, solid guy. Clearly, he has also tactical nuance. Strong, solid guy. So I'll give him that. I'll give him a 7. Solid 7. Good guy. He's your guy, but good guy. Muhammad El-Neni, the best Egyptian in the league.
Yeah, no, he was impressive as well, right? I kind of feel like there was the time he was on playing along GX, there was more, not so much creativity coming out of our midfield too. They were both playing like they were DMs at some point. And then if you look at the shift when the Spanish waiter came on, but I'll wait till then. But when you look at the shift in the way we played, you could sense that El-Neni, there's something there, right? As far as just the discipline as well and how he goes in. I thought he seemed a bit erratic whenever he was facing a very pacey player. But overall, I say 7. I think he had a really solid outing after, I mean, a season, we could easily say almost 2 seasons out of the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I think
No, but I
that
mean,
sure.
you know me, I'm a fan. So
Yeah,
Gilberto Silva, and I think he's the real
yeah,
deal. So
yeah,
no, but 7 also. I'll give him a 7. They were very solid. Doesn't give you anything more than you ask for, and then
yeah,
which is perfectly fine. He's a solid midfield player. No silly turnovers. Keeps the ball moving. There when in fact, I mean that was actually how he received kind of that ball and the touch from the veteran pass, which was pretty heavy, and he kind of flicked it on over and for the goal, the Aubameyang goal. So solid guy
mm,
from there. 7.
okay.
Okay, so our front three. Let's start with William.
Yeah, William for me was a 9. The only thing that was missing was the goal.
Yeah.
Like you can't ask for more. Yeah, what 2 assists?
2 assists. The third one is a
Yeah,
funny one.
yeah, it's a funny one. I don't know if we
Like I
give
said,
him.
doesn't count apparently, but yeah,
Uh,
2
yeah,
assists.
yeah. I think it was a very impressive debut. Um, away from home, not that it matters. We're Fulham, but you always expect a debutant to be a little overwhelmed with home fans around, and their desire to try and over impress and overcompensate where they're trying so hard. But at Fulham, no fans, I thought he was pretty solid, and that experience, I guess, is gonna count for us down the road, right? It's gonna be a marathon till
Yeah, I
we lift
mean,
that
listen,
trophy.
I'm with you. I'm a 9 on William, and I know you are a William. I'll give you that. You're your William crusade because I mean he's a bit, you'd think he has been playing with us for at least 6-7 years. You'd think
Right.
I could not see, and I don't even know how you bring anybody. We talked about the preview. How do you drop him?
Yeah.
Like, how do you drop him?
Yeah.
It becomes him. It's almost now Leno, Tierney, Shaka, William, Aubameyang cannot be dropped.
Yeah. They
No
walk in.
matter
Yeah.
no matter the circumstances, they
Yeah.
will always start. There's no question. So I mean, yeah, he was absolutely fantastic, and he's just he keeps everything at the same pace for you. So
Exactly.
no need to slow it down or speed up the game. Just this kind of constant pace of just going and being aggressive. So it was fantastic, and so yeah, a strong 9, and I'll add man of the match for me. Definitely man of the match. Solid guy. So I would. We'll go like I said.
Laka was a 7 for me because I feel like no, actually an 8. I forgot his code. I was gonna say he needed a goal, but a confident Laka is a very dangerous Laka because you get that hold up play guaranteed whether he scores or not.
Yeah.
But if he adds the goals to his play, then you have a very, very dangerous Laka. And I don't think at Arsenal we've seen that Leon Laka. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm just hoping he has some sort of consistency as far as just maybe his goal return can be, maybe one goal every 180 minutes. I'll take that for Laka because then easily you're looking at a 15, 16 goal season. You know what I mean? Because guaranteed he gives whoever is playing that 10 row or Aubameyang a lot of freedom, right? Yeah. And so, yeah, I'd say 8 for Laka.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree with 8. This is a happy score because we won. So I definitely agree with Laka. Yeah, I mean he's there. His physical presence for me, not a big guy, but just his ability just to stick in there and just rough it up constantly to me is always such value. And I know we all kind of dream of, wow, what did it look like if Aubameyang played up top and then you allowed Pepe and Saka, Willian to play the flanks and that type of thing. We'll see. We'll see if Arteta ever does that. But I think, like I said, like Xhaka gives us this balance, and this work rate, which is valuable. It's extremely valuable. So yeah, I'll give him a solid 8 too. Well taken, kind of easy goal, but hey, yeah, that's why you're there.
Yeah.
You're in and around that box. You're making uses of yourself, and there you go. Okay, last one, Capitan.
10. What else can you say? No, it's got to be 10. I mean, that goal alone, if performance-wise, Obama just been there, being a pain to Fulham because it kept them quite occupied.
Yeah.
That back line was easily an 8. That goal alone should just warrant 2. You know what I mean? Like I don't even think you need to like that's pure quality.
Yeah.
And he's a class. He's world class. I don't care what anybody says, man. Aubameyang is world class. You know what I mean? And then just to top it all off, the pants he wore on the pitch when he was announcing his resign, those white little number 8. For me, that's an additional 2, maybe even 12 now. What the heck? You know what I mean? Like, what a guy! What a guy! What a happy chap! Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, absolutely. Listen, that is. I'm trying to think the last time I wanted a number on my shirt. It's been a while. I mean, even Sanchez, I didn't really want. Also, I wanted for a little bit. I wanted also. Thought about Koscielny once, but I mean, probably still won't get his name. But that's, he's a number on your shirt type of guy. Yeah, that's what. And it's for me. It's a 10, and we're recording this after his sign, so. Yeah. He's the captain. He's number 10. Number 14. Number 14. This is 10 out of 10 for me. Because of time, and we're not in our first debut. Yeah. We'll do the bench. Overall, we'll just do Arteta. Overall,
I want to say 9, and 9 only because I want to see more of Pepe. You know what I mean? In some way, shape, or form. I don't know, because I was thinking Pepe should almost certainly get to that point where he's one of the Xhaka, Aubameyang, Bellerin, Tierney, Leno walks in. You know what I mean? Because I feel like he has it in him. But, like I said, with the Willian move and with Ozil back in the fold, I don't know what that does. Is he going to play Willian in that 10 role? What happens to Saka?
So, that might be it. I think that might be it. I'll give Arteta 9 because he's still working with the tools he has, but also hasn't shown us his full repertoire. But I do think there will be a time, whether we'll be chasing a goal, whether it be from the start, where you will see Pepe on the right, Aubameyang on the left, like I said up top, and Willian right behind them in the hole.
Yeah.
And probably would need an El Neni and Xhaka just to sit and keep everything tidy behind him. But that might work. All right. Final part of what we're going to be doing as we go throughout the seasons. Where do we go from here? So I can start. And then, so the idea for this kind of to talk about, okay, between now and the next game, what are we looking for? What are we interested in? That type of thing, kind of news-wise. It's easier now because we're in the transfer window. So, hey, where do we go from here? It's, from on the pitch, it's more of the same. I am curious to see how some of the younger guys are bedded in. And I know Saka's 18. I know he's a young kid. So, but he deserves to be in these games. And so, how do you blend in? So that's what I'm looking for. From a transfer standpoint, the business is hard. I'm not going to jump here and say we need to get some more signings before we, play West Ham. All those will be nice to have, but there's just so much going on the outside. There's so much you have to do. Signings are nice, and we can talk about that. We still have until October 5th, so maybe a future one we'll talk a little bit about signings. But I know it's more of the same. Keep an eye on West Ham. This time of recording, they just won their cup game yesterday, so they've been on a bit of a buzz. I know they lost to Newcastle. Always a tricky opponent, but we show up for them, and I'm more and more getting comfortable with trusting that Arteta is going to play. Because I think that Brighton game was a bit of an outlier in the last 3-4 months when we lost to Brighton. But in general, I think the Spurs one was kind of some, errors. But in general, I think I can start trusting now that Arteta will get us ready to go. And and he has enough on his bench. If you're not performing, I mean, there are three starters who didn't come on, so you're thinking Saka didn't play. I mean, Willock, who he loves a lot, didn't play. Ceballos came off the bench. That tells me that, yeah, he's built enough of a squad to kind of cope. So I'm looking forward to it. So where do you think? Where do we go from here?
Just let me just shut something down, right? Like, I'm already concerned as far as where do the young players, where do they fit in our plans? Like, you can rotate all you want, but as far as on the attacking side, I feel like we do have enough young talent. So for me, I'm neither here nor there. Impressive player. Do I think we need him? No. If it comes, would I be happy? Hell yeah. Just because I feel like with Willian, Pepe, Ozil.
He's 22, boss, and stop saying Ozil.
No. I know.
Ozil.
Hold on. Can I go? With that young core, I just feel we're okay. The only position I feel we might need to strengthen, and I'm super excited. I'll be super excited if it happens, is Pate. Just because I feel like we do need that assurance in that DM role. As far as next games, literally just kind of goes from the young players, right? I want to see Saka play. I don't know what it means because pre him signing the deal, he was playing. You know what I mean? The moment he signed, he put him on the bench, and I don't know. Maybe there's an injury there. I don't know.
He played against Liverpool Community Shield. He started.
Okay. So I don't know what's going on there.
What's going on? He played against Liverpool Community Shield.
No. I'm just saying I want him to start the big game, like not Community Shield. Yes, it was a big game, but anyway, can I? Then I really want to see more out of Pepe. Like I said, I want to see Ozil back in because I feel like he deserves a chance to show us what he can do against the West Ham with this new team and excitement around him.
Maybe that's the problem. He can't play in this new team. But we can talk about it some other time.
Yeah, please. Can we do it another time? And really, I just think Arteta has given us little hints here and there of how great we can be. But I feel like, and I don't need to really know what our formation is. I don't need to be assured what our formation is, as long as he picks a winning lineup. But I feel very unsettled not knowing what our formation is because I don't know what we play. It would be nice, but not that I deserve.
Maybe that's the plan. Maybe that's how you get it.
It doesn't matter, and maybe that's why with the Maitland-Niles situation, because that versatility that Gareth Southgate spoke about, and then what we were talking about, we don't know what position Maitland-Niles plays. Maybe that's the ace up his sleeve, knowing that Maitland-Niles is just there to confuse the enemy.
That's your phrase, confusing the enemy.
Confusing the enemy, So yeah.
All right. Well, hey, appreciate you jumping on this. I think we've done your man's work. We'll post it and we'll see what we get. We'll get better at this. We'll start doing post game, and we'll see. We'll keep improving. But this is a good one.
Right. Now, cheers, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. All right.
Yeah. And then please stop. Just stop with the Ozil slander, please.
Okay.
Like he deserves a chance.
That's the theme. All right. Be good. Oh, please.